What's up, everybody? Jerry with Dip and Rip Trading, back for another video. We're going to be talking about Ater, or ticker symbol ATER. Today is October 13th. It is currently 8:27 p.m. Central Standard Time. Going to be jumping into the technical analysis for this thing. Also going to be touching on the Ortex data that came out today, and just going to kind of give you guys a rundown on where we finished on the day, and then what could potentially happen tomorrow, whether it be up or down. So, but please, before I get started, don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe button down at the bottom of the screen. Helps people find the content and the channel, and helps let the community continue to grow. All right, so today, Ater finished green, which is fantastic. So up 3.84%, finished at $8.39, up 31 cents on the day. Finished in the after hours down 6 cents, or what is that, 0.72% at $8.33 in the after hours today. Let me jump over to the 5-minute chart. So just kind of giving you guys, so it looks like towards the end of the day, we started working our way back up because that 15 MA crossed over both the VWAP and that 200 EMA, which is right where we want to be. Ideally, I'd like to see us continue this trend into tomorrow. Looks like we have a little bit of bearish divergence, though, on the RSI, as well as the MACD is currently diverged underneath that signal line. So ideally, we'd like to see that, number one, converge back over that signal line and get us some more momentum. And also, we'd like to see this RSI start to spring back up. Usually, you can get an indication of how it's going to start or when an upcoming trend is soon to come, simply because of that bullish or bearish divergence. That's a good way to read when a good indication to step in, or something to expect that's going to happen here in the next few minutes, or whatever the case is, depending on what range of intervals you're looking at. So, but overall, not a bad day. Looks like the intraday high was $8.57, which is where it rejected. And then we basically bounced off of support, which was at $8. Let's call it $8.20 or so. And then we kind of just started consolidating from there in the after hours today. So overall, not a bad day. I mean, any day that's green is great, right? So tomorrow, I think I could potentially see us starting off the day red, just based on what I'm seeing with both the MACD and where the RSI is at currently. Now, this is on the 5 minutes, so this is more on like a micro perspective. So looking at it, from more of a like minute, finite mindset, I would say, as opposed to like looking at the daily or the hourly, where you're further zoomed out in terms of trying to read those patterns. So looks like, yeah, I mean, I'm not really, I would say we're probably, if you go back to the 8th, I mean, even still, like if you're looking at all the way back to the 6th to now, I mean, you can notice how we bounced, and then we're still consolidating, I would say. But if you look at the RSI, basically from here, notice how the RSI is setting higher lows, right? So I would say from a macro perspective, we're still in this bullish divergence, which is good. It's just a matter of when that 15 MA is going to cross over that VWAP, and then eventually that 200 EMA, which is currently at $9.21. So eventually we can get this upswing. I mean, I think if we can cross that 200 EMA, this thing's going to run, and it's going to run hard, because I think we've just been coiling the spring, right? I mean, yes, in terms of Ortex, we did have some stuff returned, but overall the numbers are still high. I mean, we're still up there in terms of our short squeeze score, also with the amount of shares on loan versus the percent of the free float. I mean, all of those numbers are still up there, even though we are having a little bit of a return on those said specific shares. So speaking of, let me jump over to Ortex real quick. Okay, so Ortex. So today we had a short interest change of a negative 11%, so down 11% there. We had 3.11 million shares returned versus 1.5 million borrowed against, for a net borrowed change of 1.6 million returned for Ater today. Current short interest to free float is just under 25.5%. The estimated current short interest is 5.12 million. Our cost to borrow minimum percent is 55.4%, with the max just under 150%, and the average still just over 100%. So those numbers are still up there. I mean, guys, in comparison to like your AMC and GameStop, I mean, I know that the free float is substantially higher, so these numbers are going to be skewed. However, it's still a drastic, I mean, we're talking about, these yearly interest rates of 55, 100, 149%. I mean, that's substantial. That's not, your 0.79 or 1.79, you know what I mean? It's not like any of those rates, right? And this is a yearly interest that they're paying. The utilization was down 1.17%, currently at 97.69%, so almost maxed out there still. Cost to borrow 112.48%. Days to cover is still hovering around that 0.61. Shares on loan is just under 14.5 million currently. And then the percent of the free float that's currently on loan is just under 72%, which is, again, substantial. I mean, we went from 81 to 71. So, we went down, but it's still a substantial amount that is currently out on loan in terms of that percent of the free float. So the estimated short interest percent of free float is currently at 28.5% there. And then the exchange reported short interest is currently at 6.97 million respectively. Now, I wanted to pull up because let me show you guys kind of this article real quick. And I'm going to post this. I'm going to post this link down in the description section. So this came from NASDAQ, and this is regarding Ethereum. And it's basically just saying, hey, this hot Reddit stock is poised for a comeback, which it definitely is, because if you read through it, it talks about how it's been on, a roller coaster, went down nearly to $3 and then up as high as 19. And then we've kind of just settled down around, in that $7 to $9 range, which is kind of similar to how AMC did, right? But the fact that, it has to pay, some of its loan debt off. I think once it's done for that, once it's done, being able to pay that debt off, I think it's, those financials are going to be substantially better in the long term. But in terms of the swing play, this is still on the table in terms of a squeeze. So, please, I would definitely stand. I'm still in it. I'm down. Let's see, where's my Ethereum? Yeah, so I'm down 18.97% and I'm still in it. Okay, so I'm down. Yeah, 18. My current average price is $10.28. So I'm still slowly working my way down and averaging my cost basis down, averaging my dollar cost down so that I can increase my cost basis, with these discounted shares. So slowly but surely, I'm right there with y'all. So don't feel like I'm not, and I'm, more of an open book than I feel like I am to anybody. So yeah, I'm not ever going to BS you guys or sugarcoat anything. So I'm in the red, just like I would assume a majority of you guys are. So, but like I said, it's not the end of this thing. I would say if we do continue the stair step up, we have levels of, that's not really a level there. Let me come. So I would say $8.70 would be the next level of resistance. And then we have this one here right at 9.15 or so. And then after 9.15, we have, I'd call it 9.50. This says 9.46, but I call it 9.50. So we do have some levels that we do need to break through. I think ideally though, if we can get, I know it's kind of a a pretty substantial hill to climb, but if we can get back up to basically that $10.40 range, then our next level isn't until, let's see, right in here, 11.50. So it would jump basically $1. And then from there, if we break through that, the next one isn't until almost 13, right? And then we start jumping up and up and up, right? So, and again, this is just based on the last, I want to say, 2 weeks of trading. We can go back a little further if there's any other, folks that are watching that want to do any other kind of specific technicals. Obviously, when we get a break over this, you know, what is this one right here? So 1870 and then 1990, which was I believe it was the all-time high, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go. Or no, 48.99 is the all-time high. So yeah, so this is where we broke the 19. So yeah, I mean, but if we can do that, and if we can break, I mean, ideally, if we go 20 and then 26, I mean, then we're jumping, you know, $3, $4, $5 at a time. So it's still definitely in play. Nothing's changed. I'm still in it. Hopefully you guys are too. This thing is definitely primed for some sort of movement here in the next few days and or weeks. So just stay patient. That's the best thing I can give you guys, is just stay patient. Stay with your convictions. If you're averaging down like I am, just continue to do so. I mean, patience is key here. So other than that, that'll pretty much wrap it up for this one, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.